In the annals of celebrity-driven philanthropy, few stories resonate as powerfully or as tragically as Brad Pitt's ongoing legal battle over a housing project meant to uplift Hurricane Katrina survivors in New Orleans. What began as a $12 million endeavor to construct sustainable homes has devolved into a $20.5 million class action lawsuit, pitting the Hollywood icon against the very people he sought to help. On March 23, 2025, as this saga unfolds, the latest courtroom developments have delivered a significant blow to Pitt, forcing him to confront the consequences of a dream that promised renewal but delivered disrepair. This is more than a legal skirmish. It's a profound examination of intent, execution, and the fragile intersection of goodwill and real-world outcomes. Here's the full story, its origins, its unraveling, and the lessons it holds for us all. When Hurricane Katrina struck in August 2005, it left New Orleans in ruins, displacing thousands and exposing deep vulnerabilities in infrastructure and social support systems. Amid the chaos, Brad Pitt emerged as an unlikely champion. Through his Make It Right Foundation, launched in 2007, Pitt committed $12 million to build 150 eco-friendly homes in the city's lower 9th Ward, one of the hardest-hit areas. The project wasn't just about putting roofs over heads, it was a statement. Designed by top architects, these homes embraced cutting-edge sustainability, solar panels, energy-efficient materials, and flood-resistant construction, offering a model for rebuilding smarter in a region battered by nature. Pitt's involvement wasn't a fleeting publicity stunt. He personally invested time and resources, partnering with environmental advocates and local leaders to bring the vision to life. By 2016, over 100 homes stood as testaments to his ambition, earning praise for their innovation, and earning Pitt a reputation as a celebrity who didn't just talk the talk but walked the walk. For a city desperate for hope, the project symbolized a lifeline, a chance to reclaim stability through forward-thinking design. The shine didn't last. By the late 2010s, whispers of trouble surfaced. Homeowners began reporting alarming issues: leaking roofs, collapsing decks, and, most disturbingly, pervasive mold infestations. In New Orleans' humid, subtropical climate, mold isn't just an inconvenience, it's a health hazard, linked to respiratory issues and long-term illness. What began as isolated complaints snowballed into a systemic crisis. An independent investigation later revealed that many of the homes suffered from shoddy construction and materials ill-suited to the local environment, despite their eco-friendly billing. For the residents, many of whom had endured years of displacement before moving in, these weren't just houses. They were supposed to be a fresh start. Instead, they became a new burden. Property values plummeted, repair costs soared, and some families faced the gut-wrenching choice of staying in hazardous conditions or abandoning their homes altogether. The Make It Right Foundation, once hailed as a beacon of progress, found itself at the center of a growing storm. In 2018, a group of homeowners filed a class action lawsuit against Pitt and the organization, alleging negligence and breach of contract. Their claim? The star and his team had delivered defective homes, failing in their promise to make it right. Brad Pitt has long been admired for generously donating much of his wealth to charity, from personally sending supplies to people's homes to giving millions of dollars to various funds. After Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans in 2005, disrupting the lives and livelihoods of countless residents, Pitt founded a nonprofit organization called Make It Right. Its mission was to build affordable housing for locals whose homes had been destroyed, helping them get back on their feet. The foundation built and sold about 150 homes, each priced at just $150,000. Beyond affordability, these homes were designed to be architecturally distinctive, brightly colored, environmentally friendly, and durable. Brad Pitt wasn't just funding the effort. He actively participated by inviting renowned architects to take part in the project and personally visiting residents in the disaster-stricken area. This meant he was investing not just money, but his time, a rare commodity for a superstar with a packed schedule. 14 architectural firms were brought in and began work in June 2007. The idea to incorporate solar energy into the housing development came from Pitt himself. He believed that in the future, 40 to 50% of residential areas worldwide would rely on solar power. All of the homes were built on stilts, an ideal design choice to protect against future flooding. However, more than a decade later, some New Orleans residents filed lawsuits against Make It Right, claiming that the organization had sold them defective homes that didn't meet proper construction standards. They accused the foundation of breaching contracts and committing fraud by using cheap, rotting wood without informing the buyers. According to the plaintiff's attorney, the homes deteriorated rapidly, creating problems for homeowners who were now stuck with mortgages on properties that had lost significant value. "We had to sue, so Make It Right would finally do what its name promises," the attorney stated. Faced with credible allegations and mounting evidence, Brad Pitt's Make It Right Foundation was ordered to pay $20.5 million in compensation. Though only 6 homeowners officially filed suit, the foundation agreed to offer $25,000 to every household in the lower 9th Ward who had purchased one of the original homes unless they opted out. The funds were intended to cover repair costs. Distribution of the $20.5 million settlement was handed over to Global Green, a nonprofit organization focused on environmental issues. In a public statement on August 18, 2022, Brad Pitt said, "It's my hope that this agreement will allow everyone to continue seeking opportunities to strengthen this proud community in the future." However, even months after the settlement, the issue remained unresolved, as Global Green began to pull back from the agreement, declining to distribute the funds on behalf of Pitt's foundation. Bill Bridges, the executive director of Global Green, claimed that their decision wasn't due to a lack of funds. Instead, he pointed to the ongoing media attention surrounding Brad Pitt's private life and divorce from Angelina Jolie, which had reportedly made it harder to rally individual and institutional donors. Bridges added that while the organization genuinely wanted to step in for Pitt, the economic climate made it nearly impossible to raise and disperse the money quickly. Fast forward to 2025, and the lawsuit has reached a pivotal moment. The homeowners' legal team recently secured a major victory, persuading a judge to compel Pitt and his foundation to produce a staggering volume of documents, over 70,000 files, including 30,000 pages of financial records. This ruling, part of the discovery phase, marks a turning point in the $20.5 million dispute. These documents could illuminate critical details: how funds were allocated, what construction decisions were made, and whether warning signs were ignored. The plaintiff's attorneys are now enlisting forensic accountants to dissect the numbers, aiming to build an airtight case for the trial ahead. Pitt's camp didn't surrender this ground easily. His lawyers fought to shield him from direct involvement, particularly from giving a deposition, a sworn testimony that could expose him to tough questions under oath. Their defense leaned heavily on his celebrity status. Pitt, they argued, lacks unique knowledge about the project's day-to-day operations, rendering his testimony irrelevant. More practically, they cited his demanding film career, potentially shooting overseas in Europe, as a barrier, warning that pulling him from production could disrupt schedules and cost studios millions. The filing paints a picture of a man stretched thin, juggling global stardom with legal woes, unable to spare time for a courtroom chair. The judge, however, saw through the Hollywood sheen. The order stood firm. Pitt and his team must comply, handing over the records and preparing for the next phase. A status conference looms next month, where a trial date may be set, signaling that this battle is far from its final act. At its core, this case is about accountability, and the numbers tell a stark story. Pitt's initial $12 million investment was a fraction of the $26 million total raised by Make It Right, yet the lawsuit now seeks $20.5 million in damages. That gap raises eyebrows. Where did the money go? Did it vanish into administrative overhead, architectural fees, or subpar contractors? The forthcoming documents may hold the key, offering a rare glimpse into the mechanics of a high-profile nonprofit gone awry. Beyond the dollars, the human cost is immeasurable. For the homeowners, these weren't just buildings, they were promises of stability after years of upheaval. Now, they're saddled with homes that threaten their health and drain their wallets. Some have spent thousands on repairs, only to see problems persist. Others, unable to afford fixes, live with the consequences, or walk away, restarting a cycle of displacement Katrina first inflicted. Their lawsuit isn't just about compensation. It's a demand for recognition of their suffering, their betrayal, and their right to a home that doesn't harm them. For Pitt, the stakes are equally complex. Financially, $20.5 million is a hit, but not a knockout for a star of his caliber. Reputationally, it's another story. Pitt has built a brand as a thoughtful, socially conscious figure. Think his advocacy for climate action, or his hands-on role in post-Katrina recovery. A loss here could reframe that narrative, casting him as a well-meaning but reckless do-gooder whose ambition outpaced his oversight. It's a fall from grace that stings more than any box office flop. This isn't just Pitt's story, it's a case study in systemic pitfalls. The eco-friendly designs, while visionary, may have been a mismatch for New Orleans' unforgiving climate. Experts have since questioned whether the materials, touted as sustainable, were adequately tested for humidity and flooding, conditions that demand resilience over idealism. The foundation's reliance on high-profile architects, rather than local builders with regional expertise, might have prioritized aesthetics over practicality. And then, there's the question of oversight. How did a $26 million operation miss the cracks, literal and figurative, until it was too late? The nonprofit model itself comes under scrutiny here. Celebrity-led initiatives often thrive on goodwill and PR, but they can falter when execution demands rigor over charisma. Make It Right's collapse echoes other tales of ambitious philanthropy, like Haiti's post-earthquake rebuilding efforts, where grand promises crumbled under poor planning or mismanagement. It's a reminder that intent, however noble, doesn't guarantee impact. The lawsuit's path has been anything but straight. In 2022, a resolution seemed within reach when a celebrity-backed environmental charity stepped in, pledging $20.5 million to settle on Pitt's behalf. The catch? They didn't have the funds. Pitt's team claims they were misled, having trusted assurances that the money was secured by, quote, generous donors. When the deal imploded, it left all parties, Pitt, the homeowners, and their lawyers, reeling, pushing the case back into litigation limbo. Meanwhile, Pitt's legal entanglements extend beyond New Orleans. His 8-year divorce battle with Angelina Jolie finally concluded in December 2024, ending with a reported $80 million windfall for Jolie after a contentious fight over assets like their French winery, Chateau Miraval. That victory for closure contrasts sharply with the Katrina quagmire, where resolution remains elusive. Together, these disputes paint a portrait of a man navigating personal and public reckonings, his A-list glow dimmed by courtroom fluorescent lights. The status conference next month will set the stage for what's to come. Will the documents reveal negligence or exonerate Pitt as a victim of circumstance? Will forensic accountants uncover a smoking gun, say, misallocated funds, or ignored warnings? Or will they affirm the foundation's good faith? The homeowners, for their part, are digging in, their resolve hardened by years of frustration. Pitt, whether he testifies or not, can't escape the spotlight this time. The trial, whenever it arrives, won't just decide dollars and cents, it'll adjudicate a legacy. For Pitt, it's a chance to defend his vision or face a humbling verdict. For the homeowners, it's a shot at justice, a reclaiming of agency after a decade of setbacks. And for onlookers, it's a front-row seat to a drama that's equal parts legal thriller and morality play. This saga transcends one celebrity or one city. It's a mirror for our times. In an era where high-profile figures wield influence to tackle global challenges, Pitt's ordeal underscores the need for accountability alongside ambition. Good intentions can pave roads to ruin if they're not paired with expertise, transparency, and follow-through. For donors, it's a call to scrutinize the causes they back. For communities in crisis, it's a warning to temper hope with vigilance. And for leaders, famous or not, it's a lesson in the weight of promises made. As the legal gears grind on, the story of Brad Pitt and the Make It Right homes stands as a poignant reminder. Rebuilding isn't just about bricks and mortar. It's about trust, resilience, and the hard truth that even the best-laid plans can falter. Whether Pitt emerges vindicated or vilified, the homeowners and the world will be watching.